All right. If you pressed start here or whatever it was, I forgot. It's been like 10 minutes. It should bring you to this page. So basically, HTML, they talked about what we already talked about. It's a markup language. So it's just defined structures and like presentation of whatever you want to display. So basically, HTML is a bunch of what they call elements wrapped in other elements. So fundamentally, that's all it is. And then you have different types of elements. They do different things. So in here, we have an H1. I'm going to zoom in. This might be a little bit small. There we go. H1, it stands for header 1. So I think it's going to ask, hey, put your name in there or something like that. So my name is Taylor King. All right, run. And so now I'm going to have my name displayed there. So it's going to, I'm probably going to jump ahead, but if we change this to like if I copy this, paste it down, and I change this to H2, subtitle, and I run that, it's going to be a smaller thing. And so this goes H1 down to H6, and then you have paragraph, span, A, which is anchor, and all sorts of other things. So this is basically just text. So I think we're going to get that into there next. So yeah, you have this element, and then you have the content. It's called text content, specifically in here. And then you have an opening tag and a closing tag. Opening tag has open gator, whatever the name of the tag is, close gator. And then closing tag has this / right here, right before the end of the name. You'll also notice occasionally you'll have an opening tag with the / at the end. We'll get into that later, but we're not going to really be dealing with that until like inputs and stuff like that. Although I don't think it doesn't really matter. So you can see you have the content, closing tag. Let's see if I did anything. HTML tag, blah, 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 blah. All right, cool. So this is a paragraph element P. Great. So we'll probably be dealing a little bit with that. So it's going to ask us to create a body tag. So body. So I've just created an opening and a closing tag, and it's automatically indented, which I like to do my own indenting, but whatever. And then it's going to ask us, once the file has a body, including text, images, buttons, and blah, 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 you can be added. So add the body to the web page. All right, we've done that. Okay. And now it's going to ask us to add the following code. So in between the tags, so inside of the tags, I've just copied and pasted this paragraph text. So now this paragraph is inside of body. This is important when we get into JavaScript and stuff. The what's called the document object model. This in-out structure is very important. So that's coming. So now that we've done that, yay. Some browsers may render some content differently. Honestly, this is technically correct, but really, when you're displaying text, that's not really true. Really basic stuff until you start getting to like CSS and JavaScript. HTML is pretty much universal. And that's kind of the whole point. Well, there are some browsers that are like edge cases that are not, and really you won't be dealing with those. But who knows? You might be. Really all that's saying is test it. Try it on your production environment, and don't just test it in your own environment. So anyway, HTML structure, collection of family tree relationships. We've already talked about that. So you've got inside the element and then outside. This child, oh yeah, they call it the child. So this is, so this H1 is a child of the body element, and so is this paragraph, and so is this div. This is the first child, the second child, and the third child. This will be confusing later when we're dealing with like array indexing, where indexing is starting at 0. In HTML, it starts at 1. So this is the first child, second child, third child. Okay, shut up. I don't care about you. All right. Let's consider a more complicated thing. All right, basically they're just putting more stuff inside of a div. All right, so what does it want us to do? Add this as a child of the div element. So copy and paste it there, and then run it. Yay, we've done that. Headings, we talked about headings. Basically, it's probably going to have us do all 6. Below the H3, add an H2 heading that says habitat. H2. Oh, yep, I'm right. We're going to do bears. Habitat. Run. Yay. Oh, it was an H3. Whoops. Clearly, I am not qualified to do this. Excuse you. Oh, wait. No, I was right. Psh. I just don't pay attention. When you do this in Visual Studio Code, it automatically adds the closing tag, which is really helpful. Yay. Add one more H3 heading. H3. Copy. Paste. This is boring. Fide. Okay. H2. Media. All right. Run. Yay, we've got a bunch of headings. Great. That's pretty simple. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As they go, they get smaller. As the number gets larger, it gets smaller. Shut up. I do not care. All right. I wish I could get rid of this thing. Whatever. Below the H1 element that says brown bear, add an opening div tag. Place the closing div tag after the features. So it's going to say div and then features after the H3 element. Div. So what it's asking is to put this inside of a block. And generally, when you have different blocks, you add a tab, just so you can clearly see that this is inside. This is inside of this. Shut up! I do not care. Oh my god, that thing is annoying. Above the H2 element it says habitat, add an opening div tag. Okay, great. Div after countries, blah. Div. Okay, and then be sure to add your tab. Although it will succeed, it will say good if you didn't do the tab, but it's just a good idea to do tab. And that's where code formatters get into play. I shouldn't talk and type at the same time. Right, if I don't press that, it'll still save. Right, and it doesn't change anything. Notice how, all of this can be on a single line. I can go through here and get rid of all white space. And it will still do the same thing. So, that's what's cool about HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, is all new lines are useless, and so you can make your files really small by getting rid of all tabs and getting rid of all new lines and stuff like that. All right. Add an ID attribute. Okay. So, I'm going to end the video here, and I'm going to pick this up later.